introduction, and even better, your endorsement and hard work. Sit down, sit down. It's good to see you all. God, it's good to be here. You know, I just feel like this is coming back to Carson City. I've been here before to fight for the team. And coming back is like being with family again. So much so, I have my cousin Ann here. Where'd you go, Ann? Right here. Stand up. My cousin Ann, her husband Elon, and her daughter Asha. There we go. I also have my son Alex here, guy in the blue shirt. Just so you all know, Alex has been my tech support since second grade. It's true. It's true. And today, he runs his own small business, and he's picking up a new sideline, and that is support your mother when she runs for President of the United States. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. So it's so good to be here in Nevada. I feel the energy. I feel like what we can do. Fabulous. We are about to open 3 new offices in Nevada. One in Southwest Las Vegas, one in Elko, and one right here in Carson City. Let's do this. So plenty of opportunities to help as we go forward. So I thought what we'd do this evening is I would tell you a little bit about myself, tell you a little bit about why I'm in this fight. We'll do some questions, and then if anybody wants to, I'll stay as long as it takes. We'll do selfies. That's a fun part. Yeah. Okay. So, as Amber said, I was born and raised in Oklahoma. We got a few. Okay, we got a few. No, she said I was willing to applaud, but I am not from Oklahoma. Okay. Someone is from my high school. We have the same yearbook. Yes. Okay, we do have some Okies here. I just want to point out there aren't that many of us. So I was born and raised in Oklahoma. I have 3 much older brothers. I am what used to be known as a late in life baby. My mama always just called me the surprise. My 3 older brothers all went off and joined the military. That was their path. God bless them. Oldest brother, Don Reed, spent about 5.5 years off and on in combat in Vietnam. We were really lucky to get him back home. My brother, John, was stationed overseas for a little over a year. My brother, David, trained as a combat medic. And the result of that is that we have a rule in our family, and that is never choke around David. To this day, he carries a sharpened pocket knife, and he is convinced he could do an emergency tracheotomy. We have some very exciting moments at Thanksgiving. Anybody goes, and David says, I'm ready, and the rest of us back out of the room. I love my 3 brothers. I'm close to them. I talk to them on a regular basis, get back to Oklahoma when I can. When we were growing up, our daddy had a lot of different jobs. He sold paint, he sold carpet, he sold fencing, he sold housewares. And then when I was in middle school, the boys, as they are referred to this day, the boys were all gone by then. And it was just my mama and my daddy and me, and my daddy had a massive heart attack. And we thought for a long time we were going to lose him. He pulled through, but he couldn't go back to work. And so it meant a long time with no money coming in. I still remember the day we lost our family station wagon. I remember how my mother used to tuck me in every night. She'd give me a kiss and pull the blankets up, and she'd walk out of my room and close the door, and then I'd hear her start to cry. She never wanted to cry in front of me. This is when I learned words like mortgage and foreclosure. And one day, I walk into my folks' bedroom, and there on the bed is the dress. Now, some of you in this room will know the dress. It's the one that only comes out for weddings, funerals, and graduations. The dress is laid out, and at the end of the bed is my mother pacing. She's in her slip and her stocking feet, and she's walking back and forth and saying, "We will not lose this house. We will not lose this house. We will not lose this house." She was 50 years old. She had never worked outside the home, and she was terrified. And she looks up, and she sees me standing in the doorway. I'm just a kid. And she looks at me, doesn't say a word, and she looks back at that dress, and she looks at me, and she wipes her face, pulls that dress on, puts on her high heels, and walks to the Sears and gets a full-time minimum wage job, answering phones. That minimum wage job saved our house, and it saved our family. And if you want to know who I am, there's the story. The first lesson my mama taught me, which is no matter how hard it looks, no matter how scared you are, when it comes down to it, you reach down deep, you find what you have to find, you bring it up, and you take care of the people you love. That's what I do. Years and years later, I would think back on that story and realize it wasn't just what my mama taught me. It's what millions of people do across this country every day. No matter how scared they are, no matter how hard it looks, they reach down deep, they find what they have to find, and they take care of themselves and the people they love. That's what we do. But it was only years after that that I came to understand that story is also a story about government. Because you see, when I was a girl, a full-time minimum wage job in America would support a family of 3. It would cover a mortgage, it would pay the utilities, and it would put food on the table. Today, a full-time minimum wage job in America will not keep a mama and a baby out of poverty. That is wrong, and that is why I am in this fight. Wrong. Yep. There it is. And understand this, that difference is no accident. That difference isn't because of gravity or the passage of time. The difference is who our government works for. Because when I was a girl, the question asked in Washington about the minimum wage was, what does it take a family of 3 to make it in this country? What does it take a family of 3 to get a toehold in America? What does it take a family of 3 to have something solid they can build on? Today, the question asked in Washington is, where do we set the minimum wage to maximize the profits of giant multinational corporations? Well, I don't want a government that works for giant multinational corporations. I want one that works for our families.